All right, so first let's talk a little bit about the show. First, who are you going to be talking to? Who's at this show? Geeks. That sums it up pretty well. Well, it's billed as the year's premier education and training event for IT networking and communications professionals. That's a mouthful. Who are these people exactly? First, what size companies do these attendees represent? Large, you think so?
Very large.
Very large. Let's find out. Actually, 60% of the attendees represent companies of 999 employees or fewer. 20% go up to 5,000. 11% go up to 10,000. And the very large companies, a very small percentage, believe it or not. So most of the people you'll be talking to, 80% of the attendees represent companies of 5,000 or fewer. What are the job titles you're likely to see at this show? Who are you talking to?
Network engineers.
Network engineers, you think so? Who else? Administrator, let's see. In fact, 61% network engineers and staff, about 20% are managers, 21% are just considered sort of random staff, a few senior managers, and even smaller group of executives, so most people fall squarely in this title. So yeah, Matt, you're right, nerds. Well said. All right, let's find out about the segments that they represent. What are the top vertical markets that you think are represented here at the show? These top vertical markets make up 62% of the total number of markets represented at the show. What industries do these people work in?
Finance.
Sorry? Education, what else?
Finance.
Finance, what else? Government, what else?
Retail.
Retail. All right, let's find out. Technical services, government, service providers, financial, education, healthcare. The thing that strikes me the most about this list is that it's very flat. There's a very wide disbursement. You don't see one particular industry really dominating the show. So that's very interesting to know. You're going to see people from all over these industries. And also, what segments do they represent? I'll just show you. 24% are commercial, 20% is partner resellers, 17% service providers, public sectors and enterprises, and so on. So again, a pretty wide disbursement of segments. You're going to see a lot of variety here, not a lot of variety right there. And then finally, I got some vital statistics to try to show you what the value of these attendees are. Why do you want to talk to them? What do they represent to you? Well, look at it this way. 78%, almost 80% are primarily here at the show to learn about new products and technologies. What do you have? New products and technologies. You see how that aligns really nicely? Second, a quarter of their time at Cisco Live is spent in this room, in the world of solutions. Now that may sound like a literal or a lot, but when you calculate that there's only 22 and a half hours in the show altogether, that means even if they spent all their time at the show, that would only be a maximum of about 5.5 hours in this room. Now think about how many booths are around. That actually cuts way down to just a few minutes in this booth. That's why I got to make it count. Next, look at their level of influence in their companies. This is really striking. 42% influence purchases, 36% evaluate or test, 14% authorize, and 8% make the purchases themselves. There was a separate place on the Cisco Live website that said that 95% of the people on the show floor at least influence a purchase in some way. These people matter. And finally, 86% plan to purchase the products that they see exhibited at this show. That's a pretty good number, wouldn't you say? All right, so this just gives you a little snapshot of who these people are and why they matter to you. All right, so what does Cisco Live look like to them? To us, this booth is the center of the Cisco Live universe, right? We're literally spending our time looking out at the world of solutions from this perspective. What do you think it looks like to an attendee walking in? Sorry?
Same thing.
Same thing?
I'm sure that
Plixer is the center of their Cisco Live universe, you think?
Yes.
Oh, Scott. How many shows you said you've done before?
One.
All right. Well, let me show you what it looks like to them. That's the graphic of the show floor, taken right off the website. Can anybody find Plixer on this map?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Red.
Right there, that's
Yeah,
right.
baby.
That's right. Now, to me, this is the center of the universe, but it's worth considering that when people walk in, they can't even see this booth, right? They have to travel back 2 or 3 rows, and I don't want it to be in the booth. I just want to give you a sense that it's going to take them a while to find you, and it's going to take them even longer to approach you. There's going to be a little bit of a ramp-up process. Does anybody know how many total exhibitors there are in the room to divide up those roughly 20 hours somebody might, or sorry, the roughly 5 hours somebody might spend? How many total exhibitors do they have to visit in their 5 hours? 200. How many of those are your competitors? You tell me. Who on this map is a competitor of yours? Yeah, I know. Don't look, but I know. All right, anybody else? Okay, 10 or 15. So that's roughly what, 5 to 7.5% of the exhibitors on the show floor are direct competitors of yours. So to us, this looks like the center of the universe and the perfect solution. To them, it looks like one among many, and one of several different companies that all offer roughly the same product line. That's not, that may not be right, but initially that's what it looks like to them. Worth keeping in mind.